Folks? Hey, it's Commander Curtis. As I'm getting ready to head off to SolarCon today, I actually wanted to spend a good minute talking about a really big, like, influence kind of thing. Because this one subject kind of affects all of our lives in all aspects. And that is the idea that humans relate to and make sense of the world around them via stories. And in this discussion, I use the example about windmill farms because there's a pervasive misinformation campaign going on that's out there that's taking advantage of people. And so folks, misinformation, it's taking place, whether it's on Fox or CNN or MSNBC or whatever favorite biased news media is out there. Obviously, we know that big tobacco was big into misinformation back in the day, and today the same is true, I think, with legacy oil. And we have some indications, and I've got a link to an expose essentially on the subject. But imagine, if you will, the subject of windmills, right? You could have a couple of stories that you see the world in. You could see that wind power is this replenishable source, right? The wind happens naturally. All we have to do is get the windmill out there to catch the wind. It turns the generator and we get electricity. Yes, it takes some resources and some effort to build the machine and to hook it up to the grid, and it's variable, so you have to add technology and engineering into the variability part of it, whether it's batteries or it's a combination of other technologies. And it's a good thing because the wind comes for free. You don't have to go mine it, and you don't cause further emissions by using it, right? So that's one story. And then there's this other story where windmills can't be recycled, and when they go up, they suck up all of this land space, and they kill all of these birds, and they leak oil, right? Because there's a turbine, a generator up there that has oil, and they've had oil leaks, and then they spray oil all over, and there are these big polluting things, and it's this big, like, lie that it's clean because, oh, and then here's a picture of one windmill that caught fire, but in different stages. So it looks like it's different, like early in the fire, later in the fire, from this angle, from that angle, from this evening, or this, it's earlier in the day, later in the day, and they have all of these pictures. And so it's pretty shocking. And that's like the other story. So which of those two stories resonates with you will depend upon how you think about wind. And the thing about it is, if you pulled back away from all of the stories and all of that stuff that you see online as the green and the anti-green people battle it out, as legacy oil versus the new green folks all have their monumental battles, if you pull back and you look at it, if you can see both of those stories, then you can kind of sort of make a better decision for yourself. So misinformation has gone local, and legacy oil has been discovered to be funding these local Facebook groups, getting into these local areas where, hey, there's a proposal to insert a wind farm, and then local activists get supported with this misinformation. And I say misinformation because, if one windmill goes bad and has a fire, but they post 1,000 pictures, right? It only takes one or two or three of these windmills to have a problem, and all of a sudden they all have problems, right? Because the way they word it and the way they frame the story. So it's out there. I do think that you need to get into the email and click the link and go to uh, the podcast that exposes this misinformation, because it doesn't just exist there. Guys, I got to go. This is a long one. Thanks. It's Curtis. Have a good one. Bye.